So just a quick refresher on random variables. If you recall, a random variable is just a variable whose value is determined by chance. So unlike the variables you learned about in algebra where it represents a single number, this can represent a multiple number of numbers. So for example, let's just say we have a random variable x. And usually when we talk about random variables, we use capital letters to denote those. So let's say I have a random variable x, and this x is going to be equal to either 0 or 1. So I'm going to make it equal to two possible values. And the way I'm going to determine this is by some kind of coin flips, for example. So if it lands on tails, it's going to be a 0. And if it lands on heads, it'll be a 1. Right? So this x is a random variable because its value, whether 0 or 1, is determined by some random event, by a coin flip of heads or tails. Another example of some kind of random variable might be something like rolling a die. And let's just say, let's say we roll 2 dice, right? Where y could be determined by the sum of 2 dice. Right, the sum of the values of 2 dice that we roll. So what are the possible values of this y that I can take on? It could be anything from 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12 if I get 6 plus 6. And so y is another random variable because its value is determined by the sum of 2 dice, which is a random event. Something maybe that's not so random would be something like the number of days in January. Right, so if we let z be the number of days in January, right, let z be the number of days in January. Well, this is not random because we know how many there are. There's 31 days, so it may be a variable to represent the number of days in January, but it's not random because its value is not determined by chance. It's already predetermined ahead of time. So this is not a random variable.